Hi, I'm making this video to help people who live overseas, Americans who are living overseas, and they would like to vote in the 2016 presidential election in November. Maybe you've never voted before. Maybe you're registered somewhere. You don't remember where you're registered. Maybe you've never registered before. Maybe you don't even have a domicile in the United States anymore. You are still an American citizen and you are still allowed to vote. And this website makes it very, very easy. I have also contacted them using this contact link, and they responded very personally to me and answered a question that I had. So I want to show you how easy it is to vote in the election coming up and to get your absentee ballot. So the first question you might have is select a state. Well, maybe you haven't been in the United States in a long time. Now, this is totally different. If you have a place in the United States that you live in and you're overseas some of the time, then you just use that address, right? But there are many of us who don't have a domicile, a home, property in the United States. So this is the way that you would vote. So for example, I'm going to select a state, and I'm just going to use the example of Michigan. And then you'll see it's going to change to another screen. You're going to scroll down. You can read all that if you'd like to. But what you want to do is use this online assistant. Click on that. You can read this at your leisure. You can pause the video, or you'll see it when you go to the website, fvap.gov. Going to click I accept. My internet connection is a little bit slow. Jurisdiction. This is where they want to know what county you are from, okay? Now, the question I specifically asked them, even before I filled this out, I told them I haven't lived in the United States in 8 years. I have no property there. The last place I lived was an apartment, but I don't live there anymore. And they said that is fine. Just use that last address that you lived in to fill out the form, and then indicate that in the notes. So in this example, I'm just going to use, instead of giving everybody my address, my old address in Florida, I'm just going to use a Detroit address, okay, where I grew up. So I know it is Wayne County. So I'm going to search down here for Wayne County. If you don't know what county you live in, come here, where is Wayne? W-A-Y-N-E, Wayne County, okay. If you don't know what county the last place that you lived in, you can simply do a Google search, and if you know the zip code of where you lived. If you don't, you can type in what is the zip code for blah blah blah, and you put in your address. If you want to know, I'm sorry, it should be zip code, ZIP. If you want to know what county, you just say, what county is the zip code 48224 in? And that's a zip code from a place that I lived a long, long time ago. And then Google will give you the answer. I'm not going to sit here and wait for it, but that's how you would find out what county you live in. You lived in the United States the last time. So now we're going to click on Next. And then there are several different things here for you to choose from. Me, U.S. citizen residing outside the U.S., and my return is not certain. I don't know when I'm going back. Then I'm going to click Next. Your situation may vary. You might choose one of these other options. First name, last name, I'm just going to Joe Smith. Okay? It's not really me. Okay. Previous name, I guess, I don't know, maybe if you were married, but I don't even think you need to fill it in. Male, race, I'm a white guy. Date of birth, we'll just say March 13th, I don't know, 71. Okay, but of course you're going to put in your correct information. And then they want to know the last 4 digits of your social security number. So I'm just going to put in 4 digits. If you have a driver's license or an ID number, you can put that there if you have a valid one. But many expats don't have one. Okay? Next, a telephone number. And this can be a difficult thing for many people also, because many expats don't have a phone number, or it's very difficult to put the phone number in here for someone to call you from the United States. So it's not necessary. It's strongly encouraged. An email address is certainly really important. Okay? So Robert at, I don't know, AOL.com. Political party, if you want to put a political party in there, you can put in your political party. If you don't want to put it, you don't have to put it in there. If you want to vote in primary elections, then you do have to put whether you're registered as a Democrat or a Republican. Okay? Very simple to fill out so far. I'm going to click Next. Now it's going to ask for your voting residence. And as I said, I contacted these people and I told them I don't live there anymore. I haven't lived there for 8 years. It was an apartment. And they said, that's fine. Put that address down. So anyway, I'm just going to put in a fictitious address here. Actually, not a fictitious address. This is where I used to live when I was a young guy. County is Wayne, once again, Wayne County. In Michigan, I know the zip code is 48224. Maybe this is important to you. It's not important to me. I'm going to click Next. It's going to verify the address. I'm going to give the best suggested address. Now it wants to know your current mailing address. Now it wants to know where you want that ballot mailed to. So, I don't know. For example, you're in Italy, 627 Pigafetta Lane. I don't know. I'm just making this up. In Vicenza, Italy, and then zip code, whatever. Actually, you should probably put your first name up there. I'm going to put Joe Smith, 123 Pigafetta Lane, Italy, Vicenza, Italy, Forgive my spelling, but you get the idea. Check this box if you will be mailing your form to the United States from a foreign address. So if you're going to be mailing it to the United States from a foreign address, you need to check this. If you're going to go to the Italian post office and mail it, you need to check this. If you're a military member or you have access to diplomatic mail pouches, maybe you're an embassy worker or something like that, this will be unchecked. Okay? Forwarding address, feel free to read that if that is important to you. Okay? Then I'm going to click Next. Your first choice of receiving your ballot. Indicate how you would like to receive the blank ballot from your local election office. Select those that apply. Only first choice is mandatory. So you'd only have to click one. So if you want them to mail it, click mail. If you want it by email, click email. If you want to pick a first choice way for them to send it, a second choice or a third choice, it's completely up to you. So email or mail is probably what you would want. Here, the telephone number, as I said before, you might have difficulty entering a phone number, and they may not call you because you're living in a foreign country and the U.S. government isn't going to spend the money, probably, they're not going to spend the money to call you. So if it requires a telephone number, if it just makes you put something in, just put anything in there, okay? And then, of course, your email address, which is very important. And then we're going to click Next again. Now, do you want to vote in all elections in which you're eligible? Do you only want to vote in federal elections? The next election that you're eligible? Now, I click all federal elections. That's what I'm interested in. And then here's the place for you to provide information to the person who is going to look at this application. This is what I would type. I am an American, we'll make it a USA citizen. Forgive my spelling, I'm not going to correct it as I go along because I don't want to make the video too long. I'm a US citizen. I have lived in Italy for 9 years, and for 9 years, my last address in the USA was 12397 Lansdowne, Detroit, Michigan 48224. That's the one that I put on there previously. If you want to call me by phone, you would dial this number from the USA, and then you would put the number as the person would dial it. As the person sitting in Michigan is on their phone at the election office, if they're going to call you, they shouldn't have to figure out how to call Italy. You should be able to say you have to dial this, then you have to dial this, then you have to dial this. But most likely they're going to contact you by email anyway. So of course you don't have to give them this information. We're almost done. My last address in the USA was blah, 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 blah. I do not own this property. And maybe you don't own any property in the United States. I do not own this property, and I don't have any current established residence in the USA. I would like, correct my spelling, I'm just not going to go back. I would like to vote in the upcoming, all right, I will correct it. In the upcoming November 2016 presidential election. Very simple. I tells who you are. You're a U.S. citizen. You've been away for a long time. Your last address was this. You don't own this property. You don't have any current established residence in the United States. You can even say, you know, I don't remember the last time I voted. I may have never been a registered voter. I'm just not sure. Whatever you want to type, but this is to make things easier, okay? Now, we're going to hit next. Here your information. You're going to click next. And now you're going to have two things to print. There's two things to print here. It's very simple, very easy. You're going to download this PDF. I'm going to download it for you now so you can see what it looks like. Six pages. There are only a few pages that are important, but this has just, you know, regular information about voting, where to send it to. It's very self-explanatory. This is the important part right here. This is all the information that you entered. You need to sign it and you need to date it. And then here is the additional information that you typed. Okay? This, I know I really didn't need. In my case, I didn't need to sign it, but I just signed it and dated it anyway. Now, proving that you're an American citizen, I would make a copy of a color copy of your passport. That's what I would do, and I would attach that to this. So you're sending them back these 3 pages. Actually, just the 2 pages. It's probably all you're going to send them. This one and this one, and attach your passport on it. Okay? Now, after we printed that out and signed it, now they will even print out, it's free postage, okay? So for example, you know, depending on where you are, I'm just going to click this one, and what it will do, we'll open up another PDF. And you will take this and you will print it and attach it to an envelope. And inside that envelope, you put your 2 or 3 pieces of paper plus your copy of your passport. And that is the way that you start the process to get registered. That's the way you should do it. It's very simple and very easy. And if I were you, I would do it now rather than waiting until later, so that if they have questions, you'll be able to answer those questions and you'll be able to get your ballot on time. So I hope this will